Hello everyone, this is Rick, and today in this episode, we are going to talk about trade and traders in the Indian subcontinent from around 300 BC onwards until up to 300 CE. So, throughout this 600 years, we are going to see what kind of trading activities used to prevail in the Indian subcontinent, who were the traders, what were the main trading routes, and what kind of trading commodities used to exist. So, without doing any delay, let's get into details. Introduction to trade. The period 300 BC to 300 CE marked the significant expansion of trade within and outside the Indian subcontinent, facilitating cultural and economic exchanges. So, it was through this trading activities that there was a transformation in cultural and economic spheres of the Indian subcontinent. Trade was facilitated by the expansion of the money economy with small denomination coins issued by Kushanas and the Satavahanas. I have discussed in detail in my previous episodes regarding Kushanas and the Satavahanas, so please go through it in order to understand this properly. So trade was facilitated by expansion of money economy. Money was the main thing that used to control trade, and there were lower denominations of coins issued by big empires like Kushanas and Satavahanas, which helped in the spreading of trading activities. Various coins like dinara, which is gold, purana, which is silver, and karshapana, which means copper, were commonly used, reflecting a sophisticated economic system. So there was no single monetary system based on a single kind of coin. There were different metals used for making different kinds of denominations of monetary economy. In the far south, apart from the northern coins, locally made punched marked coins and Roman denarii were used, with evidence of die struck coins from Chera Chola and Pandya kings. So there were both evidences of punch mark coins and also die struck coins, which were the two famous coin making techniques in ancient Indian subcontinent. Along with that, we also get foreign coins from the Roman Empire, which was the denarii. Barter systems persisted alongside monetary transactions with cowrie shells, which is Cypraea moneta, used in regions like Maldives, demonstrating diverse trading practices. So, along with monetary economy, there was also a barter system of economy prevailing during this time, which used to go along with the monetary economy, and it was used the monetary forms like cowrie shells were used in places like Maldives, and that demonstrate the diverse trading practices in the area. Now, trade regulations and economic policies. What were the trade regulations and what were the major economic policies? The Dharma Shastra text outlined various prescriptions concerning taxes, profit, and loan interest rates, aiming to regulate trade and commerce. So, these Dharma Shastra texts outlined various protocols concerning taxes, profit, and loan interest rate, which were to be followed by the traders, and thus there was an aim to regulate the trading and commercial activities in the region. Yajnavalkya Smriti suggested that kings should fix prices with a 5% profit on indigenous goods and 10% on foreign goods, reflecting a protectionist economic policy. So 5% profit was reserved for the indigenous productions and 10% of the foreign productions, and thus we get an economy which intended to protect the indigenous industries. Manusmriti added transportation and retention cost to prices and recommended that traders be taxed on profit, not on capital outlay, advocating a 5% general tax rate. So traders will be taxed on how much profit they get, not on how much transaction they do, because many of the transaction may not have been profitable also. Hence there was a 5% general tax rate on the trading activities. The text laid down punishments for adulteration and fraudulent measures, emphasizing the importance of maintaining trade integrity. So, there were punishments also if one was involved in any kind of fraudulent practices. Interest rate on loans were prescribed according to risk factor, borrower's varna, and nature of the loan, reflecting a structured financial system. So, one single parameter was not used in judging the interest rate of the loans, and it was judged according to the risk factor, borrower's varna, and also the nature of the loan, which meant that there was a very well organized system for trade regulations and economic policies. Role of Jatakas in trade narratives. Jatakas were important Buddhist texts which provided a lot of information regarding the trading practices of the time. Jataka tales provide rich accounts of long caravan journeys on foot and bullock carts, depicting the vibrant trade activities of ancient India. So it is from the Jatakas we know that long caravan journeys on foot and bullock carts used to happen during the time, and that reflects vibrant trade activities. They mention people traveling in chariots and palanquins with references to rest houses and tanks along the trade routes for weary travelers. So, people used to travel sometimes in chariots, and also sometimes they were carried by their servants in palanquins, and thus we get a very well organized traveling system. And there has also been references of rest houses and water tanks where weary travelers could rest for some time. Ports were crucial manufacturing and trading centers, often connected to hinterland trade networks, facilitating extensive commercial activities. So ports were very much crucial, and they were crucial for managing the trading centers, and they were connected to the interland trade networks, and thus they facilitated extensive commercial activities. Jataka stories highlight traders like bodhisattvas, who are sarthavahas, who led caravans with wisdom and strategic planning, ensuring safe and profitable ventures. So from the Jataka stories, even though they are not proper history, but we can extract historicity from the Jataka stories, and from there we come to know that bodhisattvas were expert traders who used to deal with trading activities with their own extensive wisdom and strategic planning. Text emphasize the partnership among the merchants and the importance of organized trade guilds in maintaining trade networks. So there were organized trading guilds who used to partner with one another in order to maintain a proper trading system. Sangam literature on trade dynamics. What was the information we got from Sangam literature regarding the dynamics of trade? Sangam text give vivid literary sketches of markets and traders of Tamilakam, describing vibrant markets in Puhar and Madurai. So from the Sangam poems or from the Sangam literature, we get a description regarding what kind of markets and traders prevailed in South India in the area of Tamilakam, and they also give detailed explanations of the markets in Puhar and Madurai. Markets featured sellers of flowers, garlands, aromatic powders, betel leaf, shell bangles, jewelry, cloth, garments, wine, and bronze. So, all these items were available in the markets. Poems mention caravans. The local name used for caravans is Chattu, of itinerant traders carrying goods such as paddy, salt, and pepper to interior regions, showcasing extensive trade networks. So, there were caravans who used to carry goods to the interior regions, and thus we get examples of extensive trade routes. Detailed journeys by salt traders, who are also called Umana Chattu, on bullock carts were equipped with provisions for long travel, indicating organized trading systems. So, salt traders had to travel for a very long time, and thus their bullock carts were a bit different from others with provisions for long travel. And thus, we get an indication that there was a very well organized trading system. Paravatar were inhabitants of the sea coast involved in trade, highlighting the maritime dimension of commerce in Tamilakam. So, Paravatar were inhabitants of sea coast. They lived in the coastal areas, and thus they being important in the field of trade indicates to the fact that there was a maritime dimension in the trading activities of South India. Now, extensive trade routes and networks. What were the main trade routes and how the networks used to function through those routes? Numerous trade routes crisscross the Indian subcontinent, connecting various regions and facilitating extensive commerce. So, there was not a single trade route, numerous cities and places used to be connected through different routes. Key routes included Ujjain to the western coast, Narmada Valley to Ujjain, and routes through Rajasthan and Malwa region. These were mainly the land routes. The most important land route was Ujjain to the western coast of Indian subcontinent, which was in the Arabian Sea, Narmada Valley to Ujjain, and routes through Rajasthan and Malwa region. Important trade routes linked Bharukachchha, which is Bharuch, in the west, further extending to Patala and Vimgakacha, showcasing strategic trade hubs. So there were important trade routes which linked Bharuch to the west and also Patala and Vimgakacha, showcasing the strategic unity of the trading hubs. Coastal trade thrived from ports like Sopara and Kalyan, with connections to inland trade routes, ensuring the movement of goods across regions. So there were not only land trading routes but also coastal routes from ports like Sopara and Kalyan, and from these coastal routes we get an understanding that goods used to move across regions through maritime trading activities also. South, Southern routes connected Tamaralipti with the Deccan, illustrating the extensive reach of trade networks within the subcontinent. So, Tamaralipti is in Bengal and it was connected to Deccan part of Indian subcontinent, and thus we get to understand that extensive reach of trade networks used to happen within the subcontinent. Now, long distance trade and its impact. How was the long distance trade? Until now, we have discussed about the inland trading activities, trade within the Indian subcontinent. Now, we will go to the long distance trade and its impact. The Indian subcontinent was a part of a larger Indian Ocean trade network, with long distance trade flourishing from 200 BC to 300 CE. So, long distance trade used to flourish in the Indian Ocean region from 200 BC to 300 CE, and it is very important in understanding the trading networks of the Indian Ocean area. Evidence from archaeological findings highlights the importance of maritime trade routes and the exchange of goods over vast distances. So, here archaeology plays a very important part because the artifacts, the commonality between the artifacts found in different places, highlight the importance of maritime trade. Jataka text mention voyages to Southeast Asia, which is Subarnadipa, and Ratnadipa, which is Sri Lanka, indicating extensive maritime connections. So, from the Jataka text, from the stories in the Jataka's text, we get mention of extensive maritime voyages to areas like Southeast Asia and Sri Lanka, and thus we get indication of extensive marine connections. References to organized guilds of sailors, which is Niyamak highlight the structured nature of maritime trade. So, there were guilds of sailors who used to specialize in maritime trade, and from there we get an understanding that it was a very well structured system. Roman influence is evident from the pottery and coins found in southern India, illustrating the integration of Indian and Mediterranean trade networks. So, it was not only the Indian Ocean region where trading activities used to be conducted, but also India had very good connections with the Roman Empire, and that can be evidenced from the fact that Roman coins are found in various parts of South India. Trade with East and Southeast Asia. How was the trading system between the eastern part of Asia and southeastern part of Asia with India? Trade contacts between India, East and Southeast Asia intensified between 200 BC to 300 CE, leading to significant economic and cultural exchanges. So, this was one of the most significant development in Indian history, that we came in touch with Southeast Asia, and the touch intensified over time. The Han military presence in China facilitated trade with Central Asia, with routes connecting the Yellow River and Tigris River regions. So, Tigris River is approximately in the area of Mesopotamia, and also there were routes connecting the Yellow River and Tigris River regions with India, and it used to happen because of the presence of Han military in China. And so every part of Asia worked together to facilitate a very well organized trading system. Commercial exchanges were dominated by silk, with Roman coins and pottery found in southern India as evidence of trade interactions. So, commercial exchanges were mainly dominated by silk. Silk was the main commodity of trade, and it was traded with the help of Roman coins and pottery. And these coins and pottery have been found in southern India, and they act as a evidence of trade interactions. Northern trade routes connected oases and major ports, ensuring the flow of goods across regions. Maritime trade routes were crucial for transporting goods, leveraging the monsoon winds for sailing across the Indian Ocean. So, monsoon wind used to act as a fuel for the ships, because they used to sail through the Indian Ocean using the monsoon wind, and thus maritime trade routes were very crucial for transporting goods. Key commodities traded. What were the main things of trade? What were the main commodities of trade in the Indian subcontinent? Major traded items included silk, pearls, coral glasses, and fragrances, showcasing the variety of goods exchanged across regions. So, from this, we can understand that we were not specialized in a single craft industry. We used to have diversification in trading practices with commodities like silk, pearls, coral, glass, and fragrances. Indian exports comprised cotton, textiles, spices, and precious stones, reflecting the subcontinent's rich natural resources and skilled craftsmanship. So, what were the things which were exported from India to the foreign powers? They were cotton, textiles, spices, and precious stones. Thus, we get an understanding that India was a place very rich in natural resources. Import from Central Asia included superior animal hides, enhancing the diversity of goods available in the Indian markets. So, animal hides were very important commodities of trade which were imported from Central Asia into the Indian market. Key ports like Barigaza, which is Bharuch, and Barbaricum, which is Karachi, and the mouth of Narmada were vital trade hubs for these commodities. So, the earlier name of Karachi, which is presently in Pakistan, was Barbaricum, and Bharuch were main trading hubs where these commodities used to be halted or stored. Coral and glass were highly valued in China and Southeast Asia, indicating the extensive reach of Indian trade networks. So, presence of Indian coral and Indian glass in China indicates to the fact of uh, indicates to the fact that Indian market or Indian trading activities had huge reach in entire Asia and Europe. Archaeological evidence of trade. What were the archaeological evidences which prove the fact that there was extensive trading network? Archaeological findings from sites dating back to 500 BC to 1500 CE provide insights into the trade networks of India. So we get numerous archaeological evidences which prove the fact that India was the most important trading power in the entire world. Beads of colored glass, faceted carnelian, and etched agate discovered at various sites indicate a vibrant trade in semi precious stones. So, semi precious stones and artifacts made out of semi precious stones were very important, and that can be understood from the beads of colored glasses, faceted carnelian, and etched agates which have been discovered in various sites. Burials at sites like Yu Thong and Khao Sam Keo in Thailand have yielded trade artifacts showcasing the exchange of goods across regions. So, in burial sites of Thailand, we get Indian commodities being used as grave goods. That showcases the fact that the commodities had to be exchanged across regions. Excavations at Kuala Selinsing in Malaysia revealed glass beads and other trading items, highlighting the maritime links between India and Southeast Asia. So, there were Indian artifacts found in Malaysia also, and from there we get to understand the maritime links between India and Malaysia. Indian artifacts found in Southeast Asian sites range from 300 BC to 17th century CE, underscoring the long standing trade connection. So, for approximately 2000 years, Indian artifacts were major trading activities conducted, major commodities of trade in trading activities with Southeast Asia. Now, maritime links and coastal trade. How were the maritime links? What were the main links? And how did coastal trade function? Indian artifacts discovered in Southeast Asian sites indicate robust maritime trade links dating from 300 BC to 17th century CE. So all these artifacts being found in Southeast Asian sites indicate to the fact that there was a very well organized, robust maritime trading system for about 2000 years. Increased quality and variety of Indian goods exported to Southeast Asia during the 1st century CE, reflecting advanced craft production and inter-regional trade. So the fact that quality of trade was very much enhanced through time indicates to the fact that there was advancement in craft production and also advancement in the management of inter-regional trade. The emergence of kingdoms in mainland Southeast Asia led to greater trade interaction with ports like Khao Sam Keo and Thung Tuk serving as key hubs. So these were sites in Southeast Asia which served as key hubs of Indian trade networks. Trade routes connected Indian coastal regions with Southeast Asian ports, facilitating the exchange of goods, technologies, and cultural practices. So, it was not only trading items which were exchanged. Due to contact, there were many other cultural factors involved also, like exchange of technologies and other cultural practices. Archaeological evidence from sites in Thailand and Malaysia highlight the extent and impact of these maritime trade networks. Now, influence of trade on Indian society. How did Indian society change, or what was the influence of trade in the Indian society? The trade had a profound influence on the political, economic, social, and cultural history of ancient India, fostering prosperity and connectivity. So it was not trade was not only important because of economy, but also it had huge influence on the political, social, and cultural sphere of the Indian subcontinent, and it fostered prosperity and connectivity and communication between these areas. Trade centers like Puhar, Kanchipuram, and Madurai flourished, becoming hubs of commercial activity and cultural exchange. So, we get important trading centers like Puhar, Kanchipuram, and Madurai in South India, which flourished for a very long time and became important hubs of commercial and cultural exchange. Local rulers and merchants played pivotal roles in facilitating trade, ensuring the stability and growth of economic networks. And all these were managed and maintained by the local rulers and trading merchants who played a guiding role in facilitating trade. Trade influenced daily life with markets providing a wide array of goods and services to local populations. So it influenced daily life very much with the evidences of markets and markets who provided a range of goods to serve the local populations. The economic prosperity generated by trade supported the development of infrastructure. With money comes development in infrastructure, including roads, ports, and rest houses. So it was not only that money came pouring in, but also there was development of infrastructural practices like infrastructural facilities like roads, ports, and rest houses. Technological advancements in trade. How did trade lead to advancement of technology? The flourishing trade of ancient India spurred significant technological advancement in maritime technology and shipbuildings. So, with connections with Roman Empire and Southeast Asia, we needed to have a very good communication system, and that communication system was possible with proper maritime technology and shipbuilding. The organization of shipping, fishing, and selling communities was crucial for maintaining efficient trade networks. Since most of the foreign trade used to happen through the seas. Therefore, people who were involved in activities like shipping, fishing, and sailing were considered to be very important, and they played a vital role in the efficient functioning of trading activities. Innovations in ship design and navigation techniques facilitated long distance trade voyages and transportation of goods. So, with the improvement in ship designs, there was more security in the trade, and the greater technologically advanced navigation techniques helped the sailors to find proper routes regarding long distance trade voyages. Advanced sailing techniques, including the use of the monsoon winds, enabled more efficient and reliable maritime trade routes. So, monsoon winds acted as the fuel for Southeast Asian trading networks, and thus, with this advancement of sailing techniques which trapped monsoon winds, we get an efficient and reliable maritime trading routes. These technological advancements not only supported trade but also contributed to broader economic and cultural development of the region. Prominent traders and merchant guilds. Until now, we have known about what kind of commodities was there for trade, what kind of routes were followed for trade. Now, who were the prominent traders and merchant guilds? Prominent traders like bodhisattvas played crucial roles in leading caravans and ensuring safe and profitable trade ventures. So, traders like bodhisattvas played a very important role in guiding the caravans through in a very secured manner, and thus there was safe and profitable trade ventures. Rich merchants traveled in chariots and palanquins, reflecting the wealth and status associated with successful trading activities. So, people who were very rich because of trade, they used to travel in chariots and palanquins, and thus we get a reflection of wealth and status because of the commercial activities. Key trading communities included the Yavanas, who brought goods by ship to Indian ports, facilitating international trade. So, main trading communities were the Yavanas. Yavanas had Greek heritage in them, and they brought goods by ship to the Indian ports. Merchants spoke multiple languages, enable them to conduct business across diverse regions and cultural contexts. So it was a necessary need for the merchants to know multiple languages so that they could communicate and sanction business deals across diverse regions. Organized merchant guilds played a vital role in maintaining trade networks, ensuring the smooth operation of commercial activity. Now, economic impact of trade. What was the main impact of trade in Indian culture? Trade significantly increased wealth and prosperity in the trading regions, fostering economic growth and development. So, in the trading regions, there was an increase in wealth and prosperity. Urban centers and port cities like Puhar, Kanchipuram, and Bharukachchha flourished as major hubs of commerce and trade. So, there were urban centers which developed only because of major hubs of commerce and trade. The integration of Indian trade networks with Central Asia and Europe enhanced economic connections, allowing for a diverse exchange of goods. Growth in local industries such as textile production and metalwork supported by the demand for trade goods. Agricultural productivity and regional economies were bolstered by trade, leading to increased wealth distribution and social development. So, trading activities played a main role in the cultural shift of the Indian subcontinent. Trade in the later period. What kind of trading activities used to happen after 300 CE? Post 300 CE, trade networks continued to expand, maintaining robust connections with Southeast Asia and the Mediterranean and beyond. So, after 300 CE, trade did not decrease. There was an expansion in the trading networks with more robust connections in foreign trade. The political landscape influenced trade routes and practices with new power dynamics shaping commercial activities. So there was a change in the political landscape, and with the coming of new kings and new dynasties, there were new ventures in commercial spheres. Continued significance of ports like Tamaralipti, Sopara, and Kavadi Pattinam in facilitating trade. So these main ports were Tamaralipti, Sopara, and Puhar, which is Kavadi Pattinam, and they still continued to function as important connectors with foreign trade. Evolution of trade practices with advancements in maritime technology and navigation, ensuring the efficiency of long distance trade. So, there were more technological advancements, and thus the maritime trading activities became much more secured and profitable. The legacy of ancient trade networks persisted, influencing trade practices and economic policies in the subsequent periods. Now, in conclusion and legacy, we will go through a summary of the entire presentation. The period from 300 BC to 300 CE was transformative era for trade, laying the foundation for future economic development in India. Trade fostered cultural exchanges and technological advancements, contributing to growth of ancient Indian civilization. Key regions and communities played pivotal roles in shaping trade networks, ensuring the prosperity and connectivity of the subcontinent. The impact of ancient trade practices can still be seen in modern economic systems and cultural interactions. Future research into trade history can uncover more insights into the complexities and dynamics of ancient trade networks, enriching our understanding of the past. So that was all about trade and traders in the Indian subcontinent from 300 BC to 300 CE. With this, we have discussed in detail about what were the main trading routes, who were the main traders, and what kind of commodities were used for trading activities. Hope you have liked this video. I make numerous other videos on the history of Indian subcontinent, so please go through all of them. It will help you to crack exams related to history. Thank you so much for your love and support.